Welcome back to Real Trailer Life, everybody. My name is Patrick.
And I'm Wendy.
And we are in day 11 of our epic Alaska journey, and this stop brings us to Jasper Gates RV Resort in Hinton, Alberta. The day before we arrived, we got a phone call from the campground, and they notified us that our reserved site, that the people that were there before us literally ran their truck right into the power pedestal and that the power pedestal was not going to have any power, and they were trying to jostle us around in the campground because of their load reservation, and they thought it was going to be really difficult for them to do that.
Well, because we also had a 35-foot trailer, and so,
we basically told them, you know what, that's not an issue, because we have a master volt system that was installed by ABC Upfitters that really makes us into a boondocking beast, and we weren't worried about not having power.
We were just fine. We could run the AC. We had no issues whatsoever. They ended up getting it fixed anyway, but we were refunded for all 4 nights.
That was really kind of a nice gesture that they gave us, and then they didn't really have to worry about it, and they were excited about the fact that they didn't have to try to move us.
And you should contact ABC Upfitters if you have needs for or interest in getting a solar package, because they have been incredible for us.
They can take whatever RV you have and fulfill your off-grid needs. You just have to reach out to them at sales@abcupfitters.com, or you can call them at 574-333-3225. Trust us, they're a great company to work with, and you will be really happy with what they can do for you for a solar package.
After settling in at the campground, we walked over to Folding Mountain Brewery, which we enjoyed actually with our neighbors who also had recently pulled in, and we both started walking over to get some dinner at the same time. So the 4 of us had a lovely dinner, sat outside on the patio, and enjoyed
a pint and some poutine.
And a burger. I had a burger. You had barbecue.
Yeah, it was a really good meal.
Super good
and
food.
The beer was really good.
Good enough that we went and found a liquor store in Hinton that also sold the same beer.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was good.
So then the next morning we woke up and we hit the road to go back down the Icefields Parkway into Jasper National Park.
The issue with it today was smoke.
We
and the fires. And so.
Had not experienced wildfire smoke since we had arrived in the Hinton area, but we woke up that morning and the sky was filled with smoke. But we still took the time to head down to the Icefields Parkway, to the stunning Athabasca Falls and Sunwapta Falls. Powerful reminders of just the nature's force and beauty. But due to the thick smoke, we decided not to drive back to Columbia Icefields at this time. And I'll tell you something, Jasper National Park hasn't looked the same since early 2024, when in July, 2 separate lightning strikes caused wildfires in that whole Jasper region. And it affected a lot of people and a lot of buildings, and it affected the town of Jasper. 39,000 hectares of land were burned in the wildfire.
Yeah, it was like 97,000 acres.
Yeah, and more than 25,000 people were evacuated from that area. 358 structures were damaged, which was like 31 or 32% of the buildings that are in that area.
It was hard to see as you're driving in, to see all the burn. It's devastating. Yeah,
and we're going to share some footage of us driving down the Icefields Parkway and also along Malign Lake Road, where you can just see the devastation and the impact that the wildfires had. But despite suffering the largest wildfire in over a century, Jasper's coming back. They're very resilient, and it's really critical that people, if you're going to be going into Jasper area, take the time to stop into Jasper and patronize those businesses.
Because they are being rebuilt. You can see the temporary housing for both residents who lost their houses and for workers who are there helping to rebuild the town of Jasper. We actually went to
Jasper Brewing House Company.
Yeah.
And Jasper Brewing Company.
It was it was good, and we went in again for a pint and some poutine.
We did.
We kind of on this kick, but when in Canada, you must have.
Right. And our bartender, Dexter, he was really kind of a funny guy. And we told him that we were from the U.S. and that we were traveling on our way up to Alaska. He says, you need to take the Malign Lake Road to see some wildlife. And we actually did take him up on that suggestion. And we ended up seeing a whole herd of elk with one baby elk. And then we saw one big male elk. His rack on his head, it was just huge, and he was so close. We didn't get out of the car to photograph that.
You've got a really long lens.
Yeah, and those are photographed from inside of the vehicle. Yeah, we did that, and then we also saw that bald eagle. There was a bald eagle that was sitting on top of a tree right along the lake there.
No, their giant nest. That nest has got to weigh, what did you say, like?
Oh, they can weigh hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, it was a great view of it.
And you could see that it was probably a mama, and there's definitely a juvenile up in that nest. It was really exciting to be able to see a bald eagle. So by day 15, we packed up, we left Hinton, and we started on our reroute. And we are heading towards Prince George, where we're going to be staying at the Northern Experience RV, which is a nice little campground.
In British Columbia.
Yeah, so we're leaving Alberta and we're going back into British Columbia, which is kind of exciting, but there's also a time change.
There was a time change again. Whoops. We didn't realize that, but everything worked out fine.
The wildfires may have changed our route, but they didn't change the fact that we're still going up to Alaska. We're just going to be taking the Stewart-Cassiar Highway up to Watson Lake. Once we hit Watson Lake, our plans are going to be exactly the same as what we had planned before until we come back down from Alaska, where we're going to try to take the Alaska Highway back down if we can.
We want that sign picture.
Yeah, there's a sign in Dawson Creek that is the beginning of the Alaska Highway.
Mile marker 0, right?
Yeah, and unfortunately we couldn't get the picture of that sign on the way up.
It's all right.
But we're going to try to get that on the way down.
Safety first.
If you're enjoying this adventure, please like the video and subscribe to our channel so that you can get notification when our next video comes out. And don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and of course here on YouTube. Thanks everybody, and until next time, safe travels, stay adventurous, and keep living that real trailer life. Bye-bye.
See ya.